What's up, DG? It's just Matt today. I did like a recording of this with Willie, but it fucking just didn't record the audio because I got a new headset and I forgot to switch the default settings, yada yada. But I'm just here alone today to make a COD, fuck, a Call of Duty Stage 4 major prediction. And yeah, it's back to LAN. I decided to do something different on the channel today. And yeah, let's just get back into this because I don't want to waste any time here. Considering I just made a fucking video about this and it didn't record. So here we go. We got New York versus Minnesota. I think this will be a close one. I heard ASIM's going to be out, so that's why I think it's going to be closer. Otherwise, they would absolutely destroy Minnesota. I have no faith in them. So I'd give it a 3-1. Yeah. Moving on, we got Optic and Dallas. So like these were already predicted and stuff, already submitted, but Willie kind of talked about the fact he thought Dallas just always gets lucky somehow, and Optic just can't win a game 5, map 5, round 11, like that kind of stuff, and they just tend to choke. Even though this is my favorite team, I tend to just not argue, and yeah. We'll just give Dallas the win here, but I think they'll beat them. Moving on, I got Los Angeles Thieves versus the Los Angeles Guerrillas, two LA teams, and I smell an upset upcoming because Guerrillas have Sheen, and Thieves roster's always been changing. Yeah, so I'd give it to Guerrillas. I think they can really get a good upset here. Again, Thieves just haven't been having anything consistent going. So yeah, I'll give it a 3-1 Gorillas. Next up, we got London Royal Ravens versus Seattle Surge. And I'd just give it to Surge. I think they're the better team here. They just beat Optic recently. Rest in peace. And London hasn't really looked good. I mean, they beat New York once, but how good is how confident can you say that New York can just like easily win games? You can't really have full confidence in that team considering they haven't always been a top team. So we'll see how long they go. But yeah, I'll give it to Surge 3-1. All right, next up we got the winners round 2. FaZe versus New York. I got a game 5 thriller here because I think ASIM will be back. And regardless of that Minnesota game, I think they'd still win without ASIM. And with ASIM back, it'll be a lot closer now. But I think FaZe is just the better team. You'll hear that a lot. And yeah, game 5. 3-2, FaZe moves on. Next up, Toronto and Dallas. I got really nothing to say here. Toronto just absolutely fucks every team, and they'll keep doing that. So Toronto 3-0. You never know though. It is LAN. Things could change, but ultimately reality. Toronto 3-0 Dallas. It's happened before. It's going to happen again. Toronto 3-0. Next up, we got Florida versus Gorillas. Again, Florida has Awakening. He hasn't been on LAN yet. Can't wait to see what he does in the professional level. Neptune. This team's just been clicking. And I think Gorillas will get that win on Thieves, and then they'll just kind of overthink everything. I'll give it a 3-1. I think it'll be pretty close. A pretty close 3-1. But, yeah. Florida 3-1. Next up, we got Legion and Surge. And I think, what was it? Week 3. Week before this, Paris 3-0'd Surge. They had no game plan, and that's just what happens when you beat a good team, when you're a bad team. So I think they'll have a game plan here. I think it'll be a lot closer, but I think Paris will beat them again. So let's go 3-2 Paris. All right, next up, elimination round 3. We got Minnesota, since they lost to Subliners versus Florida. I think Florida will be cruising on here. They got the momentum. They'll have that win over Gorillas. And I think they'll beat this other purple team right here. Minnesota is kind of just that team that does not belong in the winners. They could prove me wrong, but I got Florida here. 3-1. Next up, we got Optic in Paris, and it was 3-1 last time. I think Optic will be ready for this one. They should be. Just ready to fuck them. Nothing to talk here. 3-0. Next up, we got Dallas versus Florida. And I think Dallas is going to barely squeak through them here. Like they do to every fucking team here. Other than Toronto. But, yeah. I don't know what to say about this one. I think this will be a really good match. This looks like a really good matchup. I think Dallas has the experience though to make it past Florida, whereas like Awakening and stuff, they just don't have that experience. Neptune, of course. So Dallas in a very tight game, 3-2. All right, next up, this was a big discussion for me and Willie, and we decided to go New York 3, Optic 2, simply because Optic just chokes good games. And New York's a good team. They've beat them before. They beat them 3-0. They beat them 3-0 twice, I believe. So, one in like stage. I think it was stage 1, and then the other one was, of course, stage 3, if I'm not mistaken. They did show up in majors though, and Optic does show up. So I think they're at least a top 5 team here. So in my elimination round 4, I got 2 game 5s, 2 thrillers. I think Optic will just fall short again. Sadly, I'm sorry, Optic. All right, next up we got the winners final, FaZe versus Ultra, and again, just another close game. I know this is not reality, but I think it'll be another close one. Uh, FaZe seems to have it 3-2. Yeah, it was tough, but I think FaZe will get the win here over Toronto again. Even though Toronto's beat them, I think FaZe will just be ready for them. They'll be prepared for this match for sure. Yeah, FaZe 3, Toronto 2. I don't think it'll be like a reverse sweep or anything like that. I think it'll always be like back and forth, that kind of thing. We discussed it. We dissected this match. It's gonna be close, but yeah, FaZe 3, Toronto 2. Next up, we got Dallas and New York, and I don't think Dallas belongs here in the top 4. They just kind of have these fortunate teams to beat and make it to. So I think Dallas will fall here to New York, 3-1, or 1-3 in that matter. All right, so you got FaZe in the finals. Who they playing? I think Toronto again. I know, such a boring match, but we'll get to that later. Toronto 3-0'd them. I think it'll be more competitive, of course, but I think they'll just get one more. I think it'll be another close 3-1. Like it won't be completely dominant. I think it'll come down to like one play where it's a 3-1. So Toronto 3-1. Last year we got the major. What does everybody else got? What teams you got? Let me know in the comments. But we've decided something boring, I guess. But in reality, we got FaZe versus Toronto. Unarguably the top 2 teams in the league going into the grand finals, and I don't think that's going to change. This time, I think we got the FaZe taking them out here. They're going to be ready for them. They're not going to get, they're not going to get ahead of themselves like they did at stage 2. I think they're going to clean it up here, clean up their mistakes from last time, 5-3, because FaZe is just that kind of a team that just knows how to game plan. Won't be as exciting, right? Because Toronto obviously doesn't win, but I think it'll be a pretty good series. We got 5-3. And yeah, that's gonna be our predictions. I'm sorry that you didn't get to see like the epic, in-depth discussion of me and Willie. I just wanted to go ahead and get a video out for you guys. But yeah, just let me know in the comments what you guys have. Obviously, Optic could make a run. Thieves could make a run. Maybe even Dallas could prove me wrong. Any team could prove me wrong. It's LAN. Like, anybody could win at this point. So just let me know what you got in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.